Welcome to another video on game development with Asha Akanksha Foundation. In today's video, we'll start an introduction to game development in 3D, and we learn about 3D sprites, how to apply materials to these sprites, how to create those materials, and to apply rigid bodies, colliders, etc., and control a game object in 3D. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Hope you have fun.
Let's start with another game. So this is going to be a 3D game, and currently the plane is empty. I've created a new 3D project. Now let's start with creating a very basic layout for our game. So I'm going to insert a cube. That's going to be my ground. I can scale this cube so we can see the x, y and z axis here. So x and z axis form the ground and y axis is basically height towards the sky. So I want the x axis to be pretty huge for this, like the length of towards the x axis should be around say 50. Here you can see the cube now. And towards the z-axis I want it to be 5 and y-axis is fine the way it is. So now let's move on to the camera. Let's see where it is placed. Okay, currently the camera is way away from the cube. So let's go to the cube and position it at 0 0. So that the cuboid comes to the center. We'll place the camera at a height of 5 so that things appear better. Now let's check out the cube. So this is how and also we'll just place so instead of having the ground horizontally placed in front of the camera, we'll place it vertically. So we'll make this one to be 5 and that one to be 50. Yeah, so that's how our platform looks right now. And we can place the ground a little in front towards the z-axis, which is say 10 or 20, so that the camera can actually see the platform properly. So if I place it at 30, now you'll see that the camera can actually see the platform placed in front of it. So I'll make it 20 again. The idea was just to show you how give you just a small perspective of how things look here. Now we're going to place our player object, again going to be a ball, since that's the easiest way to explain a game. So we have a player kept somewhere randomly at 0, 1, minus 10. Let's change it to 0, 0. Yeah, it's kept in front of us. We'll now make its color different. So how do we do that? So we'll go to the material, and here when you click on the material we get this color option, and I'm going to just make it black. So I'll first have to create a material for that, and I'll create a folder called materials, and inside that I'll create a material which has a black color. Name this material ball, or even the platform. I can color this basically. I'll just rename it to be black. And now I can drop this material over any of the two objects. So for example, this is the ground. If I just drop this material here so for example, this is the scene, and I drop it over the platform, that the platform becomes completely black. Or the other option is I drop it over the ball. So that's how the ball looks. And now this time we're going to start with the full HD version in the beginning itself, so that we don't have to change it later. Okay, so there has been some change in the view. Yeah, that's how the full HD version would look. So you can see the ball is so much more clear as compared to the free aspect, the one that we were using earlier. Now we can extend the ground to be, say for example, our level. For right now, I'm going to make a game that in which the ball would have to reach the end of the whole platform without falling off towards the left or right, and all crossing all the obstacles on the way. So we're going to make this length to be say 100. Sorry, I changed the z-axis, z coordinate. I want the length to be 100. So it is extended in front as well as at the back. We can just make this 150. So basically it has come just at the start. So that's not what we want. We want, just give me a minute to fix this orientation. Yeah. So we want a little of it to start behind the camera. Yeah, so this seems cool. Now, the second thing, as we all know, we learned this in our first project as well. We need to add rigid body to the player. So there we were using rigid body 2D, while here we'll use rigid body 3D. So we'll add a component, and that's going to be rigid body. So this ball has a mass of 1. It has an angular drag of 0. Oh, sorry, normal drag of 0, which we're going to change later. But for now, I think this is fine. And yeah, that's all. We're also going to add a collision. Uh, for collisions, we're going to add a collider to it. We're going to add a circle collider for obvious reasons, because this is a circle and that's going to fit it pretty well. So circle collider is for 2D, and for 3D we have a capsule collider. And that covers our ball completely properly. Okay, so now let's start. So if our ball, right now the ball is kept, let me just position it. I need to also, yeah, this is fine. So right now, if the ball is at 0, 0, I'm going to place the 1, 0. So I'm going to place a ball at a height of say 3. And now we're going to see what happens when I click on play. So you can also see the shadow. So it's pretty cool. They have designed everything on their own. Like everything works properly here. You don't have to actually add those features, and it gives a very realistic look.
So in this video, we learned how to get started with a 3D game. We created some 3D sprites, we added some materials, we added rigid bodies to that, to those game objects and colliders as well. So we also saw how motion actually happens in the 3D world in Unity. And I really hope you enjoyed this video.